Today, I'm going to show you how to create some hidden storage, specifically in those really tight corners. I'm sharing 2 easy DIYs that you can complete in just one day. Let's start with the in-between clothes. You know the clothes that are not dirty enough to throw in the laundry but not quite clean enough to return to your wardrobe? Yep, that's what this corner is for. Next to our wardrobe, we have about 20 centimeters of dead space, so we installed a peg rail. But the problem is, it's so hard to reach further in that things often get forgotten here, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. The view from the bed isn't the prettiest either. I was searching for ideas on Pinterest and found this genius hack by Comfort Hub, and I think we can adapt it to our problem here. To plan out this DIY, I'm using Milanote, which is a free-to-use tool for visual organization that I've used to design our entire home and plan out all my DIY projects. When you create a new board, you have a bunch of templates to choose from to support your creative project, whether it be interior design, storyboarding, market research, or even your school lecture notes. Today, I'm choosing to start from scratch and popping in the main problems that we've discussed, along with the inspo from Pinterest. I went ahead and took some pictures of the corner, which I'm uploading onto Milanote, and I'm going to use the draw function to note down all the measurements that I need for future reference. Initially, I was planning to DIY a pegboard on my own since I have experience with that, but then I realized I could simply use the Ikea Skadis pegboard and make this DIY super easy to recreate. Using the Milanote web clipper, I'm adding some pictures from the Ikea website straight to my board. I found out that the Skadis range also has this plate that I can use to nicely connect the pegboards together, so I'm just making a note of that since it will come in really useful. I also had some fun visualizing how this will be used by popping in some PNGs of random clothes hanging on it, but you get the gist. Lastly, I'm adding a list of the DIY steps I'm planning for this project and putting together a shopping list of materials. This is also where the mobile app comes in really handy, since I also need to head to the hardware store to get more materials like these drawer slides and wall anchors that we've run out of. As mentioned, Milanote is free to use with no time limit. You can click on my link in the description box and start planning your next creative project. A big thank you to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. And now, let's head to Ikea.
Got a dopamine rush, got a major league crush when you're next to me. Got my heart upon my sleeve, cannot hide the way I feel when you're next to me, girl. Got the kick in every move and I thought it's like a fool.
We ran into a minor problem. Our Ikea doesn't have the connecting plates in stock, and I checked online. The nearest Ikea to have it is in Augsburg, which is a 3-hour round trip, so that's just not worth it. And then I remember we have a 3D printer, so I can just print some connecting plates. If you run into the same problem, you can get these metal plates from the hardware store and attach the pegboards together with some screws and nuts. So now that the problem's solved, we can finally head downstairs and get this DIY started. Yeah! Let's go!
Yeah.
For stability, I need to use about 4 to 5 screws per drawer slide, so to avoid putting so many holes into the wall, I'm attaching it to a piece of wood. This way, I can make just 2 holes per wood, but still add 5 screws per drawer slide. And since the screws are so tiny, I would recommend making small pilot holes to make it easier to attach the drawer slide onto the wood. Because the pegboard is so thin, I also added a piece of wood in between and used some 12mm screws to attach the drawer slide onto the pegboard. Then I could simply slide in the first pegboard and attach the second one using the parts I 3D printed. After estimating where I wanted the second drawer slide to go, I repeated the same process.
Ooh, funny you. Drink.
This is yours.
And what?
Yeah.
Oh, this is where all the stuff is.
I told you we always forget stuff there. I just want to see if your jeans get hidden in there. It always bothers me when I'm in bed. Yeah. In our entryway, we have a slim shoe cabinet that we have clearly outgrown. We don't have the space for another full-size cabinet, but we do have some space behind the office door. So I'm going to build a shallow shoe shelf that will fit right here. The measurements of this build highly depends on your space, but if you want an exact copy of mine, this is my cut list. I'm going to start by drilling some pocket holes into my back piece and my shelves.
Times are hard for me and you, I know it's time for me to let you go, to watch you go. And I'll sit back and wonder what my life was like when I had your eyes.
Using some 90-degree clamps, I'm first building the frame of the shoe shelf using the pocket holes that I drilled earlier.
I'm sure I'm done debating if it's right.
To help further stabilize it and ensure that it's square, I also screw in a tiny L bracket on the inside.
It's taking up all your sweet time.
Then I'm first attaching the bottommost shelf.
If I had a second guess, I'd still be stuck.
For the next two shelves, I cut some spare wood to be my spacer in order to align and screw them in. This spacer is about 31 centimeters, which gives enough allowance for pet shoes. To hold the shoes in place, I'm adding a ledge to each shelf using some wood glue to the edges and then securing them with some brad nails. Lastly, I'm drilling some pilot and countersunk holes in order to hang this piece up on the wall. A big shout out and thank you to my channel members for helping to support this channel. If you want to see how I made over this office, you can click on the video on the top right. Or if you're a beginner eager to learn more about DIY tools, you can click on the other video on the bottom. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.